Mindset Podcast. We're your guide as you make your way through life, getting better 1% every day. We believe that life is lived and true victory won through adversity. Nothing easy is ever worth it. We believe in the warrior ethos and support those that choose to walk that path.
So what's the topic, man?
Well, so as much as we've bashed social media and Instagram, we're going to look at an Instagram post.
We don't have to cite our sources.
Oh, okay. But this isn't about how good I look while I'm doing squats. This is about how to stop taking things so personally. You like that segue? That was nice. Yeah, okay.
I like it. How to stop taking. How do you take things? Personally or not personally?
How can they not be personally?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, okay. Just the statement alone. I'm not ragging on it, but how to stop taking things so personally?
Yeah, I took that personally.
How do you take that? Because otherwise,
I was like, bro, are you saying I take things personally?
Mhm.
It's a point, though.
Well, you can't take. I do try to look objectively at things,
I try to do that too.
but no matter what, you receive things personally to your person is the literal. So how do you stop? I'm sure we're gonna go into
the 7 points. We probably have more, but maybe not. Maybe not that good. In an ever increasing quest to make social media useful to me,
as you should
on some level, I always try to find posts that are like good blog posts, which seems to be a rare thing nowadays.
True.
I started about a month ago. I started writing more blog posts because I feel like the world doesn't have enough blog posts. I think
blogs have been around for a little while.
Yeah, I think there's plenty, but it just seems like there was a time on the internet where there were like personal websites with blogs and stuff, and now there aren't any.
That's true.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. And if there's a personal blog website, it's all about monetizing.
Yeah. It's always
selling
shit.
shit.
Yeah, I know. It's
which I'm not above.
I mean, isn't that Web 3.0?
No, that is not Web 3.0.
Web 3.0 is actually making money off the internet.
No, that is.
I thought that's what it was.
That
I
was
thought
too-
it was using the internet to actually make money.
No, it's like blockchain, AI.
Don't come here with that stuff.
Okay. I'll take my nerd stuff away.
Yeah, with infungible.
Fine. I'll take my blocks and go home.
Is your internet fungible?
I have to look that word up
I know.
every single time. I'm like,
What the hell does that word?
maybe.
What does it? I don't know what that word means.
Yes, I have a plethora of gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in an ever increasing quest to make things like Instagram actually useful, you have to find something that kind of helps, then you have to do some of the things.
Sure.
But before you just do random things off the internet, you should probably think about them a little bit and see if it applies, which is what we're going to do.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Good. Is this a TikTok challenge that we're doing?
It might be. You start dancing, I'll record you.
Yes.
So what was it? How to not take things personally.
Yes.
How to stop taking things. Yeah, how to stop taking things personally.
Okay.
Which implies that you're taking everything personally.
Yes.
You kind of do. I've been meaning to talk to you
Are
about
you,
this.
are you talking to me specifically?
The number one. So yeah, I kind of have to do this sometimes. This one in particular. Realize that other people's rudeness is not about you. When someone is rude, it's likely to be a reflection of their own issues. Yeah. I have to do that a lot. Like if someone does something, I'm like immediately want to go into like kill mode. And I have to remember they probably don't even, it wasn't just me. It was just like, this is how they are.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have mattered if it were me. It would have been anyone.
True.
I'm not special in their direction of their rudeness. but I still kind of go into kill mode.
When we get done analyzing this, I'll tell you about the kill mode that I went into last weekend.
Oh,
Not this past weekend, the weekend before.
last weekend.
Yeah, but let's talk about this first.
Yeah. What you got?
Okay.
You ever thought about it before?
Yeah, it's so somebody being, I mean, what it basically comes down to is when somebody's being rude to you, it's like, I'm 49, you're 48, such a baby. But
Okay.
Hold on, I'm being rude to you
I'll
on
take
purpose.
it. That wasn't really rude.
Okay, damn, I'm being rude to myself. Okay, when somebody's 49 years old and they're rude to you,
Yeah.
that one moment in time is a culmination of 49 years of whatever the fuck that they've been through, what they had as a child, what they've
Right.
had as a teenager,
Yeah.
on up, the experiences they've had that have turned them into this person that maybe this is a one-time occurrence.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is just who they are.
Yeah, probably who they
But
are.
it came out to you as road rage,
Right.
as, walking down the street and just, something, looked at you wrong and started yelling at you.
Yeah.
Clerk at a grocery, you yelling at a clerk at a grocery store, or, somebody serving you food,
Yeah.
like, and coming from, restaurant and things like that before.
That's a great perspective of a restaurateur.
Just like I think I've told you before, like you can apparently ruin somebody's life by making the wrong sandwich. I have done this.
And it shall never recover.
There's this litany of people that are scattered all over in my past that I've apparently ruined their lives.
You're just a tornado of ruined lives. Or either a bad sandwich maker.
Bad sandwich maker.
Or bad memory.
Yeah, exactly. And,
oh man.
But I think about it like those times where somebody has like come to the register and it's like, well, your sandwiches, were horrible, and they're double the price of Subway, and and I was like, But the funny thing was, I think of this one woman in particular, and I remember her boyfriend looking at her and go, hey, like I love this place that I used to own, like cool. He looks at me, he's like, it's okay.
Yeah, I want to come back.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for her, like, well,
yeah.
Like, so that's either one moment in time that they've like something has triggered them to be rude to you.
Yeah.
That one moment in time. Or it's something that's just who they are, and that's 49 years of buildup.
Right. That
again came to this one moment in time. And so you have to understand that, like, it's them dealing with their own issues, and it's, I'm not always good at this, but, I could have a shitty day.
Yeah.
And, then I will still try to do my best that, like, if I have to go and say hello to somebody, like, I'll still try to be, how's your day going?
Yeah.
But I don't see it as a reason just because I'm having a shitty day to be rude to everybody else.
Right. Well, that's because you're a normal human being.
I don't know that I'm normal in that sense.
Well, you're a nice human being.
But, that's not easy. And I don't want to not be like,
right.
There are times where I just want to, like, again, 2 weeks ago, I wanted to beat the shit out of somebody.
Tell me the story.
Okay. So we're in Fort Lauderdale.
This is a podcast.
Yes. We're in Fort Lauderdale for gymnastics regionals. And we just finished up, went back to the hotel. Girls are, going into the hotel to finish up in there. And I'm outside in the car, just moving things around, like standing in between the door and the car in the back seat, moving things around. And this minivan flies around the corner and hits the door.
Whoa.
And the door hits me, and I'm saying like an inch closer to me, and we wouldn't be here. That thing hit
Wow.
hard,
Yeah.
and I can walk.
Thankfully.
I'm still alive. But it was like then he stopped because I figured out it was later on that it was his mirror that hit my car door.
Sure, yeah.
And he gets out and he's like, like acting like nothing happened. I'm like, dude,
Bruh.
what is going on? And I mean, like, it wasn't like he just like he was flying around, and he's like, I did something happen? And then I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong? And then I went in and like I was going straight towards him, which you know me.
Yeah.
I'm not like that.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
But I would say being hit by a car would probably do that to me too.
Yeah. So
that's not being rude though. That's hitting you with a car. Just saying.
I just want to tell that story.
It's a good story,
but it was also, well, I thought of it as like, then he was starting to be rude, and he's like, I didn't do anything, and like,
yeah.
So what you have your issues apparently that you've come to this point to where you have to
care about humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever seen the Cart Narc videos on Instagram or wherever he's at now? He's a dude that he stays outside in grocery store parking lots, and when people just leave their carts wherever, he puts a magnet on their car. It says like, I'm a lazy piece of shit or whatever. I don't put my carts back. And the amount of people that just attack this dude, like instantaneously just freak out and go to attack this guy because he's calling them out on their cart.
Who's wrong in this situation though?
The person with the cart that's not putting the cart up. I'm sorry. If you don't put your cart up, you just leave it there in the parking lot. You're as bad as Hitler. I'm just saying.
No, we can't say that.
We can. Although, as soon as you invoke the Hitler, then your argument's out.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not. Okay. You're not in reality anymore.
Okay. Yeah,
that's the thing. That's politics.
Yeah. So.
So yeah. So if you get hit by a car, you can get mad.
Okay, but can he be rude?
He shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hits you,
and he was in a legal taxi as well.
If he hits you with his car, he should be real nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if I hit someone with a car, I would be really nice.
He drove off as well.
I would be like very helpful after the impact.
Somebody stopped me from beating him up.
Yeah.
And then he drove off.
Well, I'm glad you're still here with us.
Thank you. So,
the moral of the story is don't travel to Florida.
Exactly. Oh, because trying to get out of there is ridiculous. I'm sorry if you live in Florida,
or if you have to drive one.
Oh yeah, no, I'm really sorry if you have to go to. Florida.
What is the one for South Carolina, Florida?
95.
Yeah, I-95. Yeah,
that was like, oof. Yeah, my daughter was like, "Hey, can I drive?"
No,
no, you can't.
This is dangerous.
But the point was, even after getting hit by a car, like, I think that was the point. Like, I was fully within my right to, like, when we stopped for dinner, like 30 minutes later, like, I was still, like,
my heartbeat would still be going.
I drove home angry 9 hours that night.
Yeah.
We started at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. But yeah, like, I didn't have to be mean to the people at the Greek restaurant we went to. I didn't have to be mean to the people at Buc-ee's, who are the nicest people in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was in my right to, be mad at the world.
Yeah.
Some, to me, it's just not worth it sometimes.
Yeah.
And, and to anybody that I have been rude to, like, it was probably, it was probably you.
All right.
Okay, next.
Number 2 in the list here. Ask yourself what else the comment or behavior might mean. For example, if someone doesn't smile or say hello, they might just be shy.
Do you have any shy people in your family?
Not shy. They're not shy. They're just like, they don't want to be around people. Whatever that is. What is that? Introverted.
Yes.
And I see introversion as different than being shy.
Agreed.
Two very different things.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think about that one too. You know what really caught my eye with this one is that I'm going to say I used to struggle with being angry in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like a full on rager. Like I would never say. I mean, I would say things in the car, but they couldn't hear me.
True.
I think there's a level of rager where you like roll down your window or you project it to where they can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
You're now crossing
Right. Or you fix
you're
the
crossing into the chasm of rager.
Yes.
Um,
Or you put the bullhorn on top of your
Yeah,
car so everybody can hear you.
I'm not a big honker.
No, not honking.
I-
Like you can talk into it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey.
No, I honk when I absolutely need to.
Yeah. Same.
I mean, I will. Like this morning, literally coming from the gym, some dude just like whipped out into the road
Mhm.
on his bike, and I could tell he had his little white earphones in, and he probably had them on noise cancel mode
Yeah.
or whatever. And I
Just
almost hit
do
him,
that.
and I honked.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he even heard the honk, which is a testament to those Apple noise canceling
They're really, really good.
your AirPods. They're really good, but I honked at that. Like I figured that was a honkable moment, but
Yeah.
But I tell you, having kids that are learning to drive, have their permits or whatever,
Yeah.
really starts to put traffic in perspective for me, because anytime I'm behind someone that clearly doesn't know what they're doing or whatever, I used to get like mad,
Yeah.
but and I still get mad, but I check myself with like, hey, that could be my kid, that could be someone's kid,
Mhm.
and they're probably freaked out.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like add to that
Right.
by honking or driving aggressively
You
around
just
them.
put them in a worse state of mind.
Yeah, and could cause an accident because
Right.
they probably don't have the skill level, whatever. But it just puts it in perspective of like, wow, that could be my kid.
Yeah.
And so I begin to have empathy for that person, and then
Mhm.
I pass them and I realize it's just some dipshit on his iPhone. But
Yeah.
and
And then you go,
then should have honked.
Should have honked.
But I guess the moral of the story is like there might be something behind that behavior.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it kind of ties to the first one, I think. But
Yeah. You never know somebody's state of mind. You never know,
yeah,
where they've been, what they've done that have brought them to this point. And like I have shy people in my family, and I've seen that before. And then
yeah.
even though I'm an introvert, but I'm perceived as an extrovert.
You can be an introvert extrovert.
Yeah, I don't like to hang out with people. I just, when I'm around them, then I talk a lot.
Yeah, but you don't. Do you get like exhausted?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. I remember
I
that
do.
after.
I
But
do.
I don't know. I don't think you can count like being at a conference that you're helping manage as like
No, but
like driving your exhaustion from introversion, because like you can I get tired too.
okay. Let me ask you this.
After like 2 days of being in a conference, I'm like, go away.
If you're in the grocery store and you see somebody
Yeah.
do you always walk up to them?
Probably.
I'm
Probably.
50-50.
Probably. I'm pretty good at but see, I'm pretty good at doing that and
Mhm.
not getting into a conversation.
Yeah, that's my problem.
I have somehow I have the skill of like just saying howdy
Mhm.
and whatever, and then just being like, gotta go, and
Yeah.
not really feeling like I should have had a conversation.
Yeah. I go and judge how long this conversation is going to take
Yeah.
because of my talkativeness and their talkativeness.
And you're like,
And I literally
don't have time for this. Must hide.
at the orthodontist at the orthodontist last week. I walked in and I was like walking kind of sideways, and the receptionist was like, "Hey," I was like, "I know that guy back there. I know if I talk to
I
him,
don't
it's
wanna-
going to be like an hour conversation. I don't have that much time."
Right.
So, but I also, I have shyer people in my family, and they look at me like, you can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And
I have known you to be, I have thought of you as like never met a stranger type of person.
Yeah.
I think that's probably just the military thing coming out.
That, no,
Because everyone I know that's been in the military, like they could talk to anyone.
true.
And they will. They'll talk to anyone.
Well, mine's actually, I think, a little bit of that, but 20 years of acting as well. So I may not want to talk to
Sure, you can
but
like
I can-
pretend.
I
Yeah.
can- yeah.
Yeah. That's something too.
But I will look at them sometime and go like, why didn't you say hi? And I
Yeah.
have to go back and remember like, that's just not, they're not comfortable with that. And it's not even shy. It's like comfortable. Like, sometimes you can't stop them from talking when they're
Right.
around the people that they enjoy
Right.
being around.
Right.
But with this, in a different situation, again, you don't know how they act.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna know. They'll never know.
Okay.
They're gonna know.
Next.
All right. I think this one, and they've written these where they kind of tie together. So this one was ask yourself what else the comment. Now focus on that word comment or behavior might mean. And the next one, take comments or criticism in a constructive way. Ask yourself if there's any truth to it, and you can learn.
That's the making yourself uncomfortable.
I have a very hard time with that. Let's
the catharsis is going
move into 4 as well. Take a different perspective and ask yourself how an unbiased outsider would see the situation.
Right.
We come back to that because there's a different way to view that one. But take comments or criticism in a constructive way. Ask yourself if there's any truth to it, and you can learn. What, you got anything on that before I rant?
You need to talk about this one.
Well, so it's hard for me. I don't know how to explain this without sounding like I'm full of shit, but like if someone makes a comment to me, like whatever it is, let's say they're being critical of something. I have a hard time separating who it is with what they're saying. Right. And like someone can have a lot of history with being a complete, like, I'm going to be rude, but like they can have history with like not doing what they're supposed to do and then make a constructive criticism of you about something that they should be doing too. And you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you, who gives you the right to say that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Glass houses.
I don't know if it's like in like justification thing in my brain. I don't know what it is, but I struggle with that one.
What if they're right though? What if that dipshit?
I don't even care if they're right.
No, hold on. I know, but that's the thing. Like, what if?
That's what I'm saying. I can't get past it enough to like listen to them.
Right.
Yeah. I think the messenger really affects the message, you know?
Yeah.
I think it does. I think sometimes you should shut the hell up. Like perhaps this was not a moment for you to give your observation there, buddy. You know, I don't know.
Maybe you should go into trust building mode first.
A little bit. I don't know. I struggle
over
with
an extended amount of time so that you have some validity, within this situation.
Right.
Yeah. Even if you're right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. I mean, you can be right, and I could take something away with it from it, but I don't know. And maybe it's just the people I've spent my time around professionally, over the years where I'm sensitive to that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm capable of taking constructive criticism when I put myself in the mode of, okay, well, I will listen to criticism, now.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe it's also your words.
My words?
Yeah. What are, I mean, I know this says comments or criticism, but you're keen in on criticism.
Yeah, maybe I don't have a good filter to determine which one is which. But honestly, what's the difference?
No.
You could also take it to mean like social media comments.
What if it was advice? Use the word advice instead of criticism.
I could take advice.
I'm sorry, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? When somebody gives you advice.
Is it though?
Yes, it is. Advice is criticism. Advice is telling you something that you either should have known, did not know, or and basically saying that whatever you're doing could probably be done a different way.
Yeah.
And unsolicited, or if you even asked for it, it's technically criticism. It's the same thing.
I guess. Except I would say advice would be like from someone you would want to get it from.
Exactly. That goes back to the messenger. But it's also your words.
Yeah.
It's how you are perceiving. So I'm getting advice from my friend, but I'm getting criticism from this asshole.
Yeah.
But
I think you're right.
But what if your friend's wrong and the asshole's right?
Yeah. Well,
What if there's greater truth in what the asshole's saying versus what your friend's saying? Which, don't tell me that doesn't happen.
it happens.
Your friends lie to you all the time.
Yeah.
And assholes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they probably have no reason to lie to you. Is the
Right,
thing.
right? And they probably take enjoyment out of pointing things out.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
So that's why this quote or whatever it's saying is ask yourself if there's any truth in it and what you can learn. Because,
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about like your reaction.
Yeah. No,
you could totally be like, go to hell, and then like think about it.
Like, you
like,
suck, but you're right.
You just don't throw it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you have to be nice back.
No. Just say, I can hate you and think
And
that
still
you're
learn
right at
from
the
you.
same. Well,
Yeah. You can still learn from people you hate.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a strong word. I don't know. What about you? Do you struggle with that at all?
Yeah. I don't know who doesn't.
Yeah, I think we're being intellectually dishonest if we're saying I don't have a problem taking criticism.
Yeah. And it's usually like when something's pointed out to me, I'm like, again, what I feel like I've done in the second half of my life so far is take responsibility for it and go, okay,
Yeah.
Like not be quick to say fuck you.
Yeah.
Be quicker to go, okay, you might be right, and I'll need to look at that.
Yeah.
Even if they're not right, even if they're the jerk.
Yeah.
Like
Might be something there.
could be.
Yeah.
There's truth to that. Maybe you can learn from it.
Maybe. All right. Take a different perspective and ask yourself how an unbiased outsider would see the situation.
This is what I try to do, probably sometimes at a detriment to myself, because
what does that mean?
Well, I just like this is my objective brain to where like I may not agree with what was said, but I may go, oh, or I may not agree with how something was said in the context it was said or whatever it is, but then I might look at it and go, yeah, okay, but I could see it. This is my trying to see it from somebody else's point of view, which, is not always fun to do because then it means that I'm critical of myself and or whomever is on the other side of it, and but but I also think that some people use that, well, I'm an outsider to your whatever, and so this is how I see it. Like, okay, now we're just posturing.
Yeah, I think that is. I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I do always think that's posturing, because it's like the simple fact that you know who I am and what we're doing here doesn't make you an outsider.
Right.
Like an outsider would be someone that doesn't know anything about what we're talking about.
Exactly.
If we're being objective.
Right.
I've been trying, and this is something I got from pin down there. This is something I got from Jocko, where he's and I've done a couple of posts about this. It's called Detachment, and he frames it not in a negative way. If you just think about the word detach, it kind of, I think at first it can seem negative. It's like, I detach myself from our friendship. Goodbye. You know what I mean? But what he's talking about is applying it to when you're getting criticism or getting feedback or looking at a project plan or whatever, to detach. Try to detach your emotions from it, or your authorship of it, or your ego from it, or whatever it is and look at it, from that 30,000 foot view, or from that detached view, and can you be objective about it, and what needs to get you in that position. I've been trying to do that with making decisions, like on projects and like with the gym and things like that. I want to say I've been kind of successful doing that. I don't know how that applies to taking things personally from other people, other than try to detach. This is what we've been talking about the whole time.
Yeah.
I've been kind of joking around, but like you know, try to detach who said it.
Right.
And that might be impossible. And I think it is for me sometimes, but that's probably a pretty good exercise. Whatever that means, whatever different perspective that you need to try to apply, you know. And, you know, sometimes I actually, it sounds nerdy, but sometimes I go, what would Jocko think about this? WWJD. What would Jocko do? But I know that's nerdy, but like I do that where I'm like, okay, am I taking this direction personally from this person because it's who's suggesting it, and I don't want them to win,
Right?
And then that's my ego getting in the way, you know, and I have to like, you know, Jocko wouldn't do that.
Are one of these rules to touch your ego? Because I mean, it kind of like
maybe
eventually it comes down to that.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
And okay, so we'll keep going through that. But
maybe it's one of them.
Spoiler, if it is,
might be. All right. Number 5, take into consideration that you can't please the entire world. Yeah.
You know what?
Can't make them all happy.
You know, Walmart sucks, but people like boutiques.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about it in a business sense. On this one, that you know, like, and even what we do, like, we try to please a lot of people.
Yeah.
And have, I mean, we have a small team, and we try to do a bunch, and we try to, white glove everything, but then be, everything to everybody. With what we do. And the truth is like, it just drives us crazy. Everybody else is happy. But are they really happy? Like, you kind of get a mediocre,
for real.
You know, like, you can only do so much if you don't specialize. And and so with this particular thing, and thinking about how it relates personally, like, I can't be everything to everybody. And so
you can't,
so I'm not going to be able to, bring what you say and what they say and what they say into my filter.
Probably not.
And, and everything's okay. So I guess what it's saying is, like, if you detach a little bit from that, then, maybe it's easier to deal with it at that point, to where you're just like, I can't help you and you and you. I can't, please you and you and you. Like, I got to start with me. Always, I can always start there, because again, if your brain ain't right and your body ain't right, like, how can you, take care of, deal with, other people? And, so I can only do the things that I'm equipped to do. Mentally, emotionally, personally. And I can try to learn how to do those things better and expand on them. But, like, I'm never going to be ultra organized. I'm almost 50. Like, I'm organized on some things, but on many other things,
giving up on that.
Well, it's not that I'm giving up. It's like, I know what I'm good at this point. And so, so if somebody is telling me, like, you need to be more organized on this, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to hire somebody for that, because I'm just not good at, like, I can't get past that point. And if you want me to be better at that at this point, like, then something else suffers.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You can't please everyone. I actually recently had someone at the gym sign up for our 6-week, intro new member thing. And, we do, in terms of the CrossFit portion, we do small group fitness, 10 people or so in a class. And it's CrossFit like / light.
Yeah.
And, this person came to a couple classes and then was like, you don't do any Olympic lifting. We should really be doing Olympic lifting. I want Olympic lifting. Now I want Olympic lifting. I was like, well, we don't do that. And he was like, well, this place sucks. And I was like, well, you can get your money back. I'll give you your $100 back, you can go to a place that does that,
Mhm.
But at first I was like, man, maybe we should do some Olympic lifting.
Oh,
But
see,
I was
that's
like,
where you
I
just
was like, but no, I was like, nah, 98% of our membership should not be doing that type of work.
right.
And it would be bad.
Yeah.
If it's one person. There's one person. And I had to let him go.
Mhm.
I was like, well, that's what you want. You got to go somewhere else.
And it's not that that's such a bad thing.
No,
It's
fine.
just like,
It's cool.
like,
It's just not what we do.
if you can train, and if you have seen this, and I can think of a couple of people in particular in business, but like, yeah, being everything to everybody, like, I mean, it'll put you in a grave early,
yeah.
business wise,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. I mean, we're not a specialist gym,
Mhm.
but we're not I would say we're very generalist.
Yeah.
But Olympic lifting is very specialized.
Yeah.
And I could have argued with the guy. Like, I don't really think he knew what it really was. He's referencing lifts that aren't Olympic lifts and
Mhm.
stuff. But I probably could have spent a little more time, like trying to educate him. But I'm just, it's like a losing argument,
Yeah.
and it's like, why argue?
Well,
It's not what we do.
if you want this thing,
We're not ever going to do it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you should probably go somewhere else. And
Yeah.
it's not something you can do on your own. I mean, you need to be working with someone who can
Yeah.
help you with that stuff. You got to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. But to not take it personally, because I did for a little bit,
Mhm.
for a few seconds there, I was like, ooh, yeah, it's a shortcoming, but not really if you really can detach,
Well,
think about your business.
something that we continue to say is like, at least in my department, and again, we're guilty of the same thing sometimes, but I go back to like, let's get these 5 processes right.
Yeah.
And do them well, and then guess what we can do after that? We can add a 6th.
Yeah, we'll tack it on.
And then after that, like, if I mean, I said to,
But even then, you're in a position where you can decide whether that's something you need to add.
right, right,
And that's where you're in a position to win.
Yeah.
And you're making those decisions, and you're not just like reacting to whatever random comment somebody makes.
right,
you
right.
know.
Well, and I don't know. Again, business wise, that if you continue to try to push to all areas where somebody
Yeah.
wants you to go, if I listened to every single person who said,
Yeah.
"Hey, why don't you make this in your restaurant?" When I was in the restaurant industry, then like the menu,
Yeah.
like what you don't understand,
Because you had like a sandwich shop. They were like, you should have lasagna.
right?
You're like, wait, what?
You should have steak. What you
Yeah.
don't understand is that every single item that you add that is not like
Right.
like that is why a Mexican restaurant is a beautiful, beautiful place, because guess what? And we said this last
Yeah,
time we
it's-
were down the street. Like, hey, it's just meat, cheese, and corn,
Meat, beans,
or
and cheese.
yeah,
Yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah.
It's just rolled differently. And but as soon as you start adding a steak to that,
Right.
or lentils,
Yeah. It
like-
takes a different specialization to cook that.
and then it's not only that, but also like then you have to have a bigger refrigerator. Then
Right.
you have to have then you have to
Yeah.
carry things that may or may not sell.
Yeah. The rules are different. Yeah. Inventory is different.
Right.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden your costs are getting higher and
Yeah.
everything, because you're not when you specialize in something,
Yeah. I ran the numbers real quick, and I was like, man, to add, 8 Olympic quality bars,
Mhm.
The specific plates, get a couple platforms, it's like $8,000 to $10,000. And
Mhm.
I'm like, nah.
guys,
Not to mention the operational capacity of a bunch of people in your space doing Olympic lifting. They take up a lot more space.
Yep.
I mean, it's a whole new thing, and it's just like, that's not going to work.
well, then you lose space in order to have more members of the gym.
Yeah, for one dude, it's like, well,
Hey, you bring me
yeah,
9 more
Yeah, bring me
people,
9 people. We'll figure it out.
and we'll figure it out, because there's your $10,000
Yeah,
for that year.
That's right.
And with some
he
profit.
doesn't have 9 friends. All right.
Next.
Number 6. He's not listening to the show either, I
I'm
promise.
Sure, not anymore.
Know that you're not defined by your mistakes or criticism. You're only human. I don't know that I'm fully over certain things that I've made mistakes in my life over. You know what I mean? I think it's human nature to try to to just live and define yourself by things you've fucked up in the past.
Yeah.
I think that's human nature. And it's also like hard to not keep those things in the back of your mind while you're listening to people's comments and criticism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if I agree with this totally, because I want to caveat that know that you're not defined by your mistakes or criticism. You're only human. Listen, I'm sorry, you are defined by your mistakes.
I was as you were saying that, I was like, depends on the size of the mistake.
Well, it's not only yeah. I mean, like, you killed somebody because you went out drinking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you are now defined by a mistake that you made.
I think that's probably.
But it's. I mean, that's an extreme example.
Yeah,
but the caveat to this is you are defined by your mistakes. You're also defined by your successes.
Yeah.
Your failures and your successes.
But those negative things are so much louder than the positive.
Yeah, they always are.
I mean, you could get like 1,000 positive comments, but you get that one negative one.
Yeah.
And the 1,000 are just thrown out the window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like an 8-to-1 ratio.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like 100 to 1.
Well,
but
yeah. But I guess what I'm
you ever
saying,
had that happen where you're just like, yeah, everything's great, going through your day, like, and then somebody says one thing,
yesterday,
like,
the day before,
completely out of context, and you're just like,
Murr.
Nothing I do matters.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I had
man.
one of those yesterday.
Oh yeah. Well, I have
Yeah.
one of those every day.
But yes, that definitely happens. But I will say that, like, not even on a catastrophic sense of the mistake, but like, you're defined by your successes and your mistakes. But I also think, again, this is the thing with the mistakes, like how you're also defined by your reaction to those mistakes.
I think that's really what it's about.
Right. And so while I understand what this is supposed to mean, like, the reason I don't agree is because mistakes are, failures are part of
it
that
depends on how you look at it.
that you grow from. You can't grow, if there's nothing to grow from.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because if you're doing something and you're like, well, I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes.
Right.
And like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So I can work through these mistakes to find the way all this stuff works. Yeah. And you're not going to be defined. I mean, you're going to be defined by how you
respond, how you get back up,
intake and manage those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right. The last one.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledge that your self-worth depends on you. It does not depend on what others say about you.
Okay. I'm just going to say that.
That's like a feel good.
I know, but what I'm going to say is English wise, it's a duh. Acknowledge that your self-worth depends on you. It's what are those things that, like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes. But past that and me being a dick. Yeah, it's how you take everything that happens to you, good and bad, internalize it, and what you do with it.
Yeah.
And that's your self-worth. Like, I had a shitty day yesterday.
Yeah.
Dealing with it, and could I have done things differently? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could things have gone worse? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But, like, also, like, I guess, like, that doesn't all define me as well, just because, something happened that I had to deal with, and,
right.
I didn't do everything 100%. It was, like, I know that I'm flawed, and I know that I can get better. And, if I don't feel like that, then my self-worth, because of how I feel about myself and how I internalize things, will continue to go down.
Yeah.
And, you know, joke with the, damn, what's his name? I love me some me.
Love me some me.
Oh,
I don't remember who that is.
The football player, Eagles, Cowboys. Anyway, I do love me some me, but at the same time, like, you know, I have enough self-worth to where, like, I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm doing good things. And I know that if I fuck up, then, like, I can find a way to get better.
Right.
I don't try to take that to the next point of Terrell Owens. I love me some me. And
Terrell Owens.
Yeah. And, make it so that it's all about me.
Yeah.
But, just getting yourself to a point where, like, you don't have to let everything totally beat you down.
Yeah.
Whether it's people and criticism and mistakes and things like that, like, if humans are resilient, and if we weren't, then we wouldn't be around.
Dinosaurs would have eaten us.
Exactly.
I like that. You said it's not about me. There's a quote. It's like, it's not about you, but it's all about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. That sticks in my head all the time. Like, it's one of the filters I run things through. And I think that, like, if people could just stop making everything about them.
Yeah.
And I know that's like human nature. Like, it's kind of like baked in, right? I mean, that's human nature. But, like, if you could just stop making it all about you, I think you'd probably be a happier person.
Try to write a long form email that's not like a business email without saying the word I.
Yeah.
Or me.
Pretty hard.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to do.
There are times where, like, and we dealt with this like 12 years ago or something. Yeah. I think I told you, I was like, there's somebody in the room that I've heard the word I out of that, like, person's mouth
100 times. Like, dude,
in one sentence.
Yeah.
And how is that possible?
Right.
And then, like, I purposely tried to go, okay, I won't say the word I or me for the rest of the day. And it's hard.
Yeah, it's real hard.
Because you are your point of reference. That's why I kind of say that, the joke about, like,
there's a difference though.
Self-worth and, what's the beginning of this? How to stop taking things so personally. Like, like, that's your center.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do that. But you were going to say.
No, I was going to say that there's a difference between that, though. There's a difference between, the whole, like, there's no I in team. Like, there's a difference between, like,
there ain't no we either.
Making yourself the center of everything, and still, like, your point of reference is you. There's very different, like, how you sort of wield that. I think and it starts with taking all this shit personally. Like, it's probably not about you most of the time.
Yeah.
And I realize that from certain people I work with too, where it's like, they say stuff all the time, and it's just like, man,
Yep,
you got problems, bro. Yeah. And it's like, not even because I'm taking it personally. I'm just like, you can just read them like a book.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things that, if you want to be a real smart ass and combat this, speaking of smart asses, is Carl. He taught me this. When someone's doing that, where they're like, giving you this comment or being overly critical about something, you just go, you all right, man? Like, are you doing okay today? Like, I know it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sarcastic empathy, It's like, I love it. That's like a very, very passive aggressive way to, like, return that
Right.
judo style on someone.
That is like a nice volley, sir, or
Yeah.
volley back.
And they usually, they're usually like, damn. Because it's like, not only am I not going to listen to your criticism, but I'm going to put a mirror to your face at the same time.
Those are the ones where you just look at them and go, okay, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. Yeah, that
I'm
was a good
kinda-
one. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was it turned out to be a useful post.
Mhm.
We were able to make that post worth a damn, I think, from who is it from? Let's give them credit. I don't want to steal credit from Business Laughter. No,
Totter?
Business. I don't know. You know what? It's presented by Startup Rules. Business Totter. I don't know.
The internet's so weird.
It's pretty weird, but they have almost 100,000 followers. Hey,
So, did they repost something?
go figure. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's probably AI. AI is going to take all of our jobs. Don't take it personally.
I don't.
It's
I
just a
relish
robot.
that, so I can go do something else.
Man. All right. Well, I don't know if that helped a single soul, but it was cathartic for me, man.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was.
Don't take it personally, dude.
I did not the entire time.
You didn't.
Nope.